It's an historic day for Canada's First Nations. Canada's highest court granted aboriginal land title to more than 1,700 square kilometres of land to the Tsilhqot'in First Nation. This gives the Tsilhqot'in more authority over their entire territory and not just individual reserves. The ruling could prove to be a game changer for resource development in BC and put a kink in plans for the Northern Gateway pipeline.
It's a complex 81-page document that many are still trying to digest. Antonia Mills with UNBC's Department of First Nations Studies is ecstatic about the Supreme Court's ruling. Specializing in land claims research, she explains what today's ruling means.
It means that industry, even forestry, can't go and do whatever they want without the permission of the First Nation.
Moving forward, First Nations must be a part of the conversation before resource development gets the green light.
The implications are that there has to be much more consultation with First Nations before industry takes action, and it's it will impact things like Enbridge and all kinds of activities on the traditional territory.
The ruling will help make First Nations voices heard.
It strengthens the opposition of First Nations because they don't want their traditional territories to be impacted by oil spills. It even impacts the forestry.
James Gorman, President and CEO of the Council of Forest Industries, is currently interpreting the Supreme Court's decision and the implications it will have on the forestry industry. Gorman says the decision emphasizes the importance of working with First Nations and building on the relationships they've worked hard to establish over the past decades.
Many projects, such as the Northern Gateway pipeline project, is really put into question.
Ultimately, Terry Teague feels a ruling like this allows First Nations to be a part of the dialogue about resource development.
Right now, we are at the table, and industry and government needs our consent for any projects such as forestry, oil and gas, or mining.
While many First Nations are pleased with today's Supreme Court ruling, there is still fine print that needs to be considered. The Supreme Court of Canada declared title is not absolute, and economic development can only proceed if one of two conditions are met. The first is that a project must receive approval from the First Nation, and if approval is not received, then the Government of Canada must prove the project is essential to the public while fulfilling their moral obligation to the First Nation. Victoria Levy, CKPG News.